Boy and Mom see odd shapes floating in the water, realize what it is and call cops. Mindy Callum was rowing leisurely down the river Danube with her son Jake when she heard him yell out of the blue. "Mom, look. Look at all those shiny shapes, there's so many," exclaimed Jake. They rowed their boats to shallow water to check out what they could be. When Mindy realized what they had discovered, her jaw nearly hit the floor. Jake Callum was 15 years old and he was a kind-hearted teenager who loved his mom immensely. They had bonded for life after his father abandoned them when he was 12. He was still quite broken up about it, but his mom did her best to keep them busy making new memories, to keep his mind off it. His favorite extracurricular activity was sailing, and he and his mom sailed on the Danube together regularly. He would never forget what happened the day they made the discovery while sailing. Jake's mom was his rock. Mindy was a very involved mom. She had an open and honest relationship with Jake and they understood one another. They rarely ever fought. Despite losing his dad to whatever or whoever it was that drove him away, he was lucky he still had a mom like his. His bond with his mom would become even stronger after what they went through together. Jake loved the freedom you felt when you sailed. The slight danger involved. But he always knew whenever he was with his mom, a seasoned diver and sailor, he was safe. However, despite his love for the water, after the day they made the discovery, he would never look at the water the same way again. The day they made the discovery was mild and overcast, but there was a feverish tension in the air. The clouds were hanging ominously overhead, but Jake had no idea of the gravity of what was about to happen to him that day. He was pretty excited though. He was on his summer break from school and had all the time in the world to practice his hobby. After his discovery while sailing, he would be glad he was able to maneuver a boat quickly. They spent the afternoon sailing leisurely, taking in the sights around them. As they were both seasoned sailors, they were about to take their mind off it at times and just relax. They knew what to do. However, when their small boat nearly capsized, they probably wished they were paying more attention instead of relaxing. They were gazing at the water when they could make out shapes of things swimming underneath. They thought nothing of it as they'd been out on the Danube 1,000 times. They'd always been fine. When their boat was knocked suddenly from beneath them and they almost capsized, they were scared silly. "Rowed ashore," roared Mindy immediately. Wasting no time, they went closer to shore. That was when they spotted it. They rowed towards shallower waters, puffing and panting. Nothing like this had ever happened to them before. Their confidence was totally knocked. As they rowed closer to shore, Jake noticed loads of tiny shiny shapes in the water. Hundreds even. "Mom, look at all that." "What do you think it is?" asked Jake. Ever the inquisitive daredevil, Mindy replied, "Let's check it out, son." After their spook on the river, their day was about to take a whole new turn. Jake was just as brave as his mom and jumped right in after the mysterious shiny abundance of things despite having been roughhoused by a mysterious river dweller not 5 minutes previous. He was a true daredevil, like his mom. He dived down as his mom watched on to make sure he was okay and grabbed some of the things. As he resurfaced, the look on his face said everything. Jake came up to the surface clutching a wad of €100 notes in his hand. His face was a picture of glee. Screamed Mindy. She couldn't believe her eyes. Jake continued to gather more and more notes until there was easily over €2,000 in his hand. Mindy knew that she would have to contact the police about this. What the police said to her made nearly faint. Mindy was quick to call the police and they responded even quicker. They were just as amazed by the sheer amount of money they'd found, which added up to a whopping €120,000. The law in Austria states that when money is found, the person who finds it is entitled to keep 5 to 10% as long as the money is not linked to illegal dealings. The mother and son were about to find out was it or not. "Madam, we have come to the conclusion that the money is not linked to any illegal dealing, so, therefore, you and your son are entitled to €11,500 to keep," said the police officer. Mindy's face froze in a very weird expression. She always did that when she was overjoyed and didn't know how to express it. She couldn't wait to tell Jake just how worthwhile their sailing trip had been that day. Thank you for watching this fantastic story. Please tap one of the 2 videos on your screen for another amazing wonder stories.